After creating the heavens and the earth, God did something intimate. Genesis chapter 2 zooms in on the details. Before any plant or shrub had sprouted, because God hadn't sent rain yet, there was a man missing. So God got his hands dirty. He formed a man from the dust of the ground, not with a spoken word this time, but with careful, personal craftsmanship. Then God did something he had never done before. Braided, he put his mouth to the man's nostrils and breathed the breath of life into him, and the dust became a living soul. This was Adam. He wasn't just another creation. He was handcrafted by God and filled with the very breath of the Almighty. But Adam needed a place to live, so God planted a garden. God planted a garden in a place called Eden, and it was breathtaking. He filled it with trees that were beautiful to look at and delicious to eat from. A river flowed through the garden, watering it, and then split into 4 great rivers that would water the world. Gold was there. Precious onyx stones were there. It was a place of abundance and beauty. But in the center of the garden stood 2 very special trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God gave Adam a job, to work the garden and take care of it. Work was not a punishment, it was a privilege. Adam had purpose. Then God gave Adam a command. He said, "You may eat freely from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. For when you eat from it, you will surely die." Adam had freedom, but he also had boundaries, and boundaries are a sign of love. Adam had the garden. He had work. He had food. But God looked at Adam and said something for the first time since creation began. It is not good. It was not good for man to be alone. So God brought every animal to Adam to see what he would name them. Adam named them lions, elephants, birds of the air. But among all these creatures, there was no one like him. No one who could stand beside him as an equal. So God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam. He took one of Adam's ribs and closed up the flesh. And from that rib, God built a woman. When Adam woke up and saw her, he didn't say, "Oh, a helper." He burst into poetry. "This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." He called her woman because she was taken from man. And the Bible says they were both naked and they felt no shame. Perfect intimacy. Perfect trust. This was God's original design. Let's summarize what Genesis chapter 2 teaches us. First, Adam was formed from dust and breathed into by God. This shows us our origin. We are humble dust, but we are also divinely breathed. We have both fragility and dignity. Second, God planted a garden of abundance. Eden was a place of beauty, purpose, and provision. Adam was given work to do and a boundary to respect. The boundary wasn't meant to restrict him. It was meant to protect him. Third, Eve was created as a perfect companion. God didn't make her from Adam's head to rule him, or from his feet to be trampled. He made her from his side to be his equal, his partner, and his helper. Fourth, marriage was established. A man leaves his father and mother, is united to his wife, and they become one flesh. It was a picture of unity, vulnerability, and love without shame. This was God's dream for humanity. This is what we were made for. Genesis 2 isn't just a story about the past, it's a message for how we live today. Here are 3 life lessons. First, you are valuable because of whose you are. You didn't evolve from nothing. You were formed by God and filled with His breath. Your value isn't based on your job, your appearance, or your achievements. Your value is that God kneeled in the dust to make you and breathe His life into you. Second, community is essential. God looked at a perfect world and said, "It is not good for man to be alone." If you are isolated, you are not living as God designed. We need each other. We need friends, family, and the family of God. Don't try to walk this life alone. Third, boundaries are a gift. God gave Adam a command with a clear boundary. That boundary wasn't mean, it was merciful. In our lives, the boundaries God gives through His Word, through wisdom, are not there to steal our fun. They are there to protect us from death. And finally, remember that Adam's story points to someone greater. The Bible calls Jesus the last Adam, where the first Adam brought death through disobedience. Jesus brings life through his sacrifice, and one day, he will lead us to a garden even more beautiful than Eden. Until then, live as someone shaped by God's hands, filled with God's breath, and loved by God's heart. What a beautiful truth. We are not accidents. We are handcrafted by a God who breathes life into dust and builds companions for our souls. Thank you for joining us as we explored the Garden of Eden and the creation of Adam and Eve. If this video reminded you of your worth and God's love, please take a moment to like this video. It helps more people discover these life-changing truths. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss the next story. Coming up, we'll see what happened in that perfect garden when the serpent arrived and how it changed everything. And if you know someone who needs to hear that they are fearfully and wonderfully made, share this video with them today. We'll see you in the next video. God bless.